Instant Team software produced by Heaven Industries makes your project management easier. In this instruction video, we are going to focus on the Gantt chart, which illustrates scheduling. The Gantt chart is a type of a bar chart which shows tasks planned for a project. The horizontal axis shows time progression. The vertical axis shows task names. For the task to appear in the chart, we need to enter the time of its beginning and end. An ordinary task is represented by a dark blue bar, its length depending on its estimated duration. A milestone, a task without any estimated duration, is represented by a light blue diamond. A summary task, a task which is a parent of one or more tasks, is represented by a black bar with pointed extremities. If there is a subtask that inherits its plan from its parent, then the subtask will be represented by just a silhouette of a bar as long as the estimated duration of its parent. Name of the task owner is shown next to the taskbar in the chart. Predecessor and successor relationships are represented in the Gantt chart by arrows pointing from predecessors to successors. We can create these relations directly in the chart by dragging a task on another task. Also, we can deal with gray-colored arrows. If a predecessor or a successor is unscheduled and thus doesn't appear in the chart, then the predecessor-successor relationship is represented by these gray arrows. Another situation when we can see these so-called hidden arrows between predecessors and successors is if one of them is filtered out from the displayed report. For example, if one of the tasks from a project is followed up by a task from a different project. The most common reason for hidden arrows is when either a predecessor or a successor lies in a collapsed group. Then the arrows are pointing from or to the parent instead, and therefore appear gray. We can customize our chart in many ways. By using the green magnifying glass button, we can zoom in. The most detailed value of time interval are hours. By using the red magnifying glass button, we can zoom out. The highest value of time interval are years. We can set count of value columns by dragging. We can do so in customization, which will appear by clicking on the icon of a drill. Then we need to go to the arrangement section, where we can again set up the value count and zoom. In the Appearance section, we can optimize some features of the Gantt chart. We can show chart delimiters, which separate weeks. We can show hidden arrows between predecessors and successors, or otherwise we can hide them. Then there is an option to optimize vertical line spacing. This is useful, for example, in the Plan by Resource report, where the tasks are ordered by their owners. This action puts some minimum space in between the vertical lines, so that it is clear which predecessor belongs to which successor. Another option when customizing the chart is to hide or show diligent. In the Critical Path report, we can view the critical path. When a critical task becomes delayed, then the whole project becomes delayed. Critical tasks, critical milestones, and critical summary tasks are highlighted in red in the Gantt chart. In the Plan by Resource report, tasks are ordered by their owners. In the Gantt chart, these sources are represented by an icon of a summary task. Here, we can see a conflict in tasks of one user. We can fix this by changing the order of conflicted tasks. In the Baseline Gantt report, we can see comparison of the current project plan with the original or any particular project plan. In the Gantt chart, tasks are shown normally, but above the report we can choose the active day, which will show us how are the tasks planned on the active day. The plan of a task on a particular day is represented by a dark green bar in the Gantt chart, so now we can see the deflection in comparison with the current project plan. We can print the displayed report, which includes the Gantt chart. If we don't want to print the whole report, we have to select particular rows before printing. And if we want to send our report to somebody, we can press record and then print to PDF. Settings of print to PDF are the same as in the normal print. Only additional settings are the name of the PDF file, its place on the disk, and an option to open the document when we finish printing. Let's set up the time range. If we want to print the 2 weeks that are shown in the Gantt chart right now, we have to select as displayed. We can specify the number of pages horizontally. It is dependent on the number of columns per page. For example, if we want to print just 2 columns, and they are right now displayed in the main window, we can again mark the field as displayed. When we go into the page options, we can choose horizontal or vertical position of the page. Let's lower the scale so that the report will fit on the page format A4. Let's set the left side on 50% so that the names of tasks and task attributes occupy half of the printed document. Now we can print. If we would like to print only 1 week per page, we need to lower the count of columns per page to 1. If we are printing a bigger time interval, the count of printed pages will rise, so the report will be printed on more pages called tiles. The chosen amount of columns will be displayed on every page. For example, if we have columns in the Gantt chart set up on weeks, and we want to print 8 weeks, but we want to print only 2 weeks per page, then our 8 weeks are going to be printed on 4 pages. And this is all for now. On behalf of Heaven Industries, I am saying goodbye to you.